Alright, we're back with more Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and now we're going to jump in and do Jagras of the Ancient Forest.
We're on the hunt.
We just did our little tour of Astera, we created our character, and that's about it. So, quests. There's different quests you can do. Right now we only have access to Assigned. Actually, yeah, screw it. Well, I'll wait to do that until later, since I can't even look at the other ones. Because some of them it's more easy to explain, being able to dip in and show some stuff. So, but yeah, this is our first mission, Jagras of the Ancient Forest. If you look on the left side of the screen at the bottom, that is your objective. You need to slay 7 Jagras. It shows the reward, shows your time limit. On the right side, it shows a map of the area you're in. It has conditions. Very few missions have conditions. Usually it's just hunt target monster, capture target monster. It has your failure conditions. That is something you need to take more note of, because story missions, I think it's always the same. Time expires where you faint 3 times. But if you're doing other missions, those can change. And then it has other little notes. He'll have like a note from the client, which it's irrelevant. And then it'll list other monsters of the area, which is also irrelevant. But you can also scroll on the map if you want, but I'm not sure why. It's not that helpful. It doesn't really show anything, but you can. Anyways, press X on the mission, accept. We don't have vouchers. We'll get to that later too. And quest countdown. It loads the quest. While it loads the quest, you can do a couple last minute things to prep. As of right now, we don't really have anything to do, so we're just hanging out waiting for the mission to start. If you're ready for the mission to start, on the PlayStation, you can press the touchpad, and it puts you in standby mode, which means as soon as the quest is loaded, you'll instantly depart. You don't need to wait for anything or anyone. If you're in a multiplayer game, I don't think you can depart before the quest leader. I think the quest leader has to be the first one to depart. But multiplayer in this game's kind of janky. Multiplayer is fun. It is fun doing with other players, or is fun hunting with other players. But it's so weird. Like, everybody has to see a cutscene of the mission before you can do multiplayer, which doesn't make sense.
All right. This is our first rule number 1. Each quest, our current objective is to eliminate a specified number of Jagras. We ran into some Jagras on the way to base. The small monsters, remember?
Yes.
So we saw them somewhere around here. Want to check it out? Rule number 2. The commissions, they're in the supply box over there. Have a look and decide what you should take along.
Alright, so when you first spawn in, you're always going to spawn in you're usually going to spawn in at a camp. Once you get the high rank, you'll actually spawn in different locations, but at low rank, it's always at the camp. At the camp is where you can do last minute things before you head out on the mission, or if you forgot to do something, like I didn't eat. So, you can come over here to your canteen and you can eat before heading out on the mission. Now, you don't really need to eat for this mission, so I'm not going to worry about wasting the money for it, but we'll cover eating later. The other thing is the supply box. Whenever you go out on a mission, the Research Commission gives you items for that mission. It's usually healing items.
Oh, yeah.
So as you can see, we get the first aid med, and we got easy ration. Now, you notice that little odd symbol, the X with the dots on it? That indicates it's from the Commission. You can't keep those items. You can't stockpile them. You either use them or you lose them. So we're better off trying to use those first when possible. When possible. The potion is exactly what it was. It was a potion. The other one, the ration, is for your stamina. And if you look at the top left side of the screen, I'm holding L1. It brings up my health and my stamina. If I go to my radio menu, which to access the radio menu, you hold L1 and then you just use the right stick. Easy rations right there. If you look at my stamina bar now has an extended flashing part. The ration increases your stamina, and it's hard to see, but you can actually see that there's a black part where it extends even further. If I eat that ration, you see my stamina went up, and now that black part is now flashing. So you can eat the ration again, increase your stamina even further. That's the maximum your stamina can get. You can do that by eating rations or by eating meals before you go on missions. But again, we'll cover that later. You can do the same thing with your health, but with other items. Now that we're actually in the game, like I said, we were being really railroaded, but now the world's opening up, things are spawning in. Pretty much at the early point, you want to gather everything, especially herbs. Those are for crafting. As you can see, I picked up an herb and instantly crafted 2 potions. I'll cover this real quick. If you bring up the menu with the options button on the PlayStation, you have the crafting list. As you can see, it brings up your crafting list of everything you can craft. Can't really craft anything because we don't have anything, but you notice these options have a box that's either checked or unchecked. If the box is checked, it will automatically craft those items as you pick up the resources. Now you have to pick up the resources. If I run out of potions, and if I go back to camp and I access, I should show that real quick too. That tent isn't just a cosmetic thing. You can actually go in there and you can manage your inventory and your equipment.
Hey.
So yeah, so here you can change your equipment, and right there is your item box, and you can change your Palico's equipment. Now again, I don't really have anything, so it's not much to do. But if you come here and select your item box, manage items, and if I had, let's say I ran out of potions, but I had a crap load of herbs, if I were to grab those herbs and just send them over to my inventory, it won't craft them. You have to pick them up from the world for it to automatically craft. So for now, you're not really going to be crafting a whole lot, but I do suggest you set up. You have the potion, mega potion, and antidote automatically set up. I suggest you set up herbal medicine, nutrients, mega nutrients. Flash pod is already marked. Screener pod is. Dung pod is. Shock trap. And trank bomb. I suggest you have those set up to auto craft. A lot of those we can't craft yet. We're not going to be able to craft for a while, but set them up now. That way, once you do get access to them, it'll start doing it right away. You also want to have the auto craft set up because it just helps clean up your inventory. It keeps your inventory nice and neat. So, like I said, now that the game's actually opening up, we're past to the tutorial stuff. Things are opening up. See, here's more herbs.
Ready your weapon before attacking. Keep in mind that what you're able to do depends on whether or not your weapon is drawn.
As you can see,
or gathering items,
be quiet,
please. Want to keep your weapon sheathed.
You can see there's also stuff on the ground like this, like the water moss. If you pick up the water moss, it's a slinger ammo.
Great for getting a monster's attention or creating a distraction.
Slinger ammo has varying uses. When you first pick it up, it'll give you a description like this, the puddle pod. It's made for distracting enemies, getting their attention, and for washing them off. It's not, washing them off isn't relevant to any mod. That's more relevant into the next area. But some monsters coat themselves in like mud or whatever, and you can wash it away, and it'll change their defenses. So, but we'll get to that once we cover those monsters. And like I said, there's other stuff also. There's stone right here. This is good for applying a little bit of damage and getting their attention. Also for interacting with the environment, because you can use your slinger ammo to shoot things, and you'll activate traps or things like that.
Mix it with a potion to make mega potions.
You see right there, I instantly crafted mega potions once I had honey. Being railroaded. I want to check out this. Here's Red Pit, another slinger ammo. It's another way of. It's kind of like the rock. It's almost the same exact thing as a rock, but I think it deals less damage.
Let's see how you hold up when you're on your own.
Bet you I hold up fine. starting to run away.
Don't let them get away.
Man, I only got 2. Wow, I didn't do well. I only got 2.
You can use them at the smithy.
So yeah, after you kill something, you need to harvest its body. That is the point of the game. Killing monsters and harvesting for resources. So to harvest them, you walk over and you hit circle. You do need to be somewhat quick about it. Bodies disappear. As you're fighting the larger monsters, they'll drop items, and those items will disappear. Other things to keep out, want to look for, is stuff like this. Mushrooms. Perish room. This is actually a very important one. You want to always grab it. That's how you make trank bombs. You combine it with another item, but it'll get you started. So whenever you see, especially those perish rooms, whenever you see them, you want to grab them. Right here is a spore puff. This is another way of hiding. It's actually a lot more effective than hiding in bushes. Like I said, a monster can be watching you, and you can duck, and you'll lose aggro for a couple seconds. If you hit a spore puff, which you can either hit it with your sword, activate it with circle, or you can use your slinger ammo. But if you're in this when it activates, they lose you for a very long time, and you're able to hide. Something else to keep on the lookout for is something like this, bone pile. This is a resource node. You can harvest items from these bone piles. There's another one right there, a mining outcrop. They're very important. This is how you craft items, or this is another way of crafting items. And especially on this mission, I highly recommend you craft bone pile, or you gather from the bone pile and from the mining outcrop, because once you get back to, once this mission's over, you'll instantly be able to craft 2 new items, or weapons. You should be able to. Oh wow, I got 2 ancient bones. I might not be able to, because ancient bone is not rare, but it's a higher level material, and I can't even use it yet for anything. And you can see the mining node. It gave us iron ore. Just walk up to them and hold circle for PlayStation, and you'll just interact with it. It's always 3, but you can get skills that increase the amount of times you can gather from them. But for right now, it's just 3. Now I'm stopping here because I want to show off that little light thing in front of us. That is a flash bug, and it's a very useful thing. If you hit it, it creates a blinding flash. It's like a flash bang, and it will blind all the enemies. Now when an enemy gets blinded, they get stunned for a couple seconds, or for a second or two. Now they can still attack, but they're attacking blindly. They can't see you, and it lasts for a while. If you're ever in a tight spot, you can hit one of those to blind the enemy to let you heal, sharpen your weapon, or whatever. You might get unlucky, and they might hit you, but it'll be by accident. It won't be them actually aggroed and chasing you down. You can do a similar effect by collecting flash bugs and creating flash pods. It's something you fire off, and it has the same exact effect. But you want to keep an eye out for these, because it makes things a lot easier. And watch.
Whoops.
Oh, none of them were looking. Only one was looking. They do have to be looking at you. If they're not, it won't work.
Use whatever you can.
See, because now they're facing away.
You can use the slinger with your weapon.
Oh, they just happened to turn around as I activated it. If you see that one doesn't know where I'm at, he was actually attacking away from me.
Store up energy in a file, then release it through the axe. You've charged up too much blade energy. You need to charge so your attacks don't get deflected. The monster's been immobilized. Keep it together, okay?
There we go, it's over. As you can see, the mission's over, and you see a timer at the top of the screen, 60 seconds. You have 60 seconds to start gathering and carving. Whenever you complete a mission by killing, you get 60 seconds. If you complete a mission by gathering, or by capturing, you get 20 seconds. If the mission is like gather so many, or X number of items, you only get 20 seconds as well. Now, once the timer starts, enemies will no longer attack you. You can see they're still aggroed. They want to attack me, but they're not. I can even attack them, and they still won't attack me. But remember, you're supposed to spend this time gathering resources. Oh, there's a bone pile behind me I forgot about. Crap. Oh no! I was hoping I could get one more item. Oh well. There's a bone pile behind me. I should have been gathering that after I carved that last Jagras. But oh well. But there we go. We just completed our first mission. Once the mission's over, you get a list of rewards. As you can see, we get a bunch of Jagras scales. Now, nothing on here is reflected by what you gather in during the mission. So all that hide and scales and whatever else we got from those Jagras and or the bones from the monster pile. I'm sorry, from the bone pile. None of that is reflected on here. That is on top of this, and those actually aren't shown on here. Brain fart. Yeah, it's not shown on here. At some point, they added in the take all option. Apparently, when this game came out, it only had the sell all option, which at this point in the game, you should never be selling items. You should gather everything, hold on to everything. And originally, you had to either just sit here and tap X or just hold X to auto take everything. But now, you can just do take all, and it'll list everything right there. You hit yes. And then, the cool thing is your Palico can gather stuff as well. If your Palico gathers items, it'll show it right here. So, and you can decide to take or sell those items as well. So take all, exit, and then finally it has one last summary. It'll show your money rewards, your research points if you earn any, your Palico's level, how much experience he got, your Palico gadget, and how much experience it got. So we haven't because I hardly took any damage. He never even used it, and we'll cover Palico gadgets later. But you can level them up. I believe there's 5 different items you can get, but we'll get more into that later. Then it also tells you a new cutscene's been added. Any mission that has a cutscene, you can watch that cutscene again later. Why are you checking the connection? Did I lose my connection to the internet? I don't know. Maybe it was weak for a second there, and it was just trying to confirm it. I have no idea. But that wraps up that mission.
Good to see you.
Oops, sorry, I was trying to get a drink. But again, we're going to skip all this. Yeah, you completed that mission. This is why we're here. Go do more missions. And let's immediately deactivate that. Do not want to be...
All right. Now that you've got some materials, why don't you go to the smithy to see what you can do with them?
Do not want to be in the voice chat. But, alright, so... Like I said, that mission's done. That's it. And now we are ready to knock out some other stuff. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and make a series of short videos covering these random stuff in the area. So, thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you next time.